to the stories, voices from around the world. So the Global Assembly from Glasgow, 2021. Creativity is the new capital, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The journey from the head to the heart. Are you ready to take the ball?
Yes.
Yes, showers to everybody. Yes, 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 yes. So let's begin. Namaste, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
To share some work with the World Climate School, initiated by Inga Mete with Rangbhumi, and then Lachelle and One will share their experiences. So Roshan, if you could quickly share the PPT.
Yeah.
Do you have the host rights?
Yeah.
Okay. So with World Climate School Norway and Inga Mete as our sister, friend, guide, we created this work with the youth of the children in a youth of a school in Rajasthan. So this is the Rangbhumi team with Hans, who's the founder, and with Inga Mete, who is, I must say, the pillar. We call her Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess of abundance, prosperity, God of love. Yes. So yes, Roshan. So this is the work that we did with the school in Rajasthan, the study, and we were working with 60 children there. This was all online. We created the Hans, Rob, and Inga Mete had a 12 module plan online, but we also had a lot of theater and applied arts embedded in the climate literacy. So playful way to create. If you see here, we looked at local issues. This is a theater play that we embedded with the conservation of water bodies, and this is a play that children engaged in and gave their suggestions of how they can save the water bodies. And I must report, the very next day, children went to one of the lake and water bodies in their city and started to create a campaign and clean it. So that was the effect and power of arts, that it was just there and children wanted to do that. Yes. So these are some of the ways that we create engaging work through image theater work. You see a lot of playfulness, games, exercises. And guess what? These are teachers also engaged. These are not students. They're all participating. It is non-hierarchical. It is there is no border between the teacher and the student. We are all the same. They're all participating. And we are creating a dream future of our home. If you see, that is the theater task. What is a dream? What is the future of a home on Mother Earth? Yes. And then we did something in Indian tradition. Our kitchen is our nature, as I always say. In our kitchen, when you walk in an Indian kitchen, you will see nature. Seeds, coriander seeds, parsley. I don't know the English names translation, but I'll say it in Hindi. Dhania, mirch, turmeric, all of that you will get. Anything that you are, Roshan will go back. We still not come back, yes. So even if you fall ill, there is definitely a herb lying in the kitchen that will get you well through COVID too. So this is a process that we did with children. This is the principal of the school we did a project called Sowing the Seeds and creating a nature book. So he did that. All the children did that together. We sowed the seeds. We had sown the seeds together and created a book of nature experiences. Yes. Which was published by the school at the end. Yes, this is a song that the school made after the project ended. They created a video and a song of Aao Hum Sab Saath Milaye, which in English means, let's join our hands together and walk together. So this is the Sow the Seeds project. As the children sow the seeds, they gathered in their community, shared stories. Some of you can see some of them had already seeds captured in various stages of their growth, sprouting and then becoming a sapling, from a sapling to sprouting to a plant. And they also were sharing stories with their grandparents, parents, and neighborhoods about forests, nature, seeds, and a lot of other things. Yes. So it is a community working together. These are all the books that they made, which is published in a book. And now the school has published a book. They will be distributing the books in a very eco-friendly way with handmade papers that they made and colors. These are some of the, you can see what are the emotions related to nature, intelligent, nature is busy sometimes, nature is tiny for me, I feel sad, importance, wishes for the future, completely cured nature. As you see, a girl wrote, completely cured nature, healthy life and green environment. And some of the feelings they said that they feel guilty. If you see one of the participants written, it's their 10-year-old young youth members. Yes. So we also did something called as the heroine's journey or the hero's journey of nature. How would the nature heroine's journey look like? What's the call? Where are we called to? What's the challenge or the threshold? What's the ordeal? What's happening in the ordeal? The boon after the ordeal gets over. What are we walking away with the boon and the return? So children made entire theater play on this Joseph Campbell's and heroine's journey, and they presented to each other, and we created a small video on the same. Yes. And then these are some of the other acts that we did with children: reuse, recycle, and reduce. Thank you so much, Radio Theatre Experience. Lachelle, why don't you go ahead and then we pass it to Dwan. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, namaste. Hi, my name is Lachelle. I'm 10 and I'm from Mumbai, India. I've been learning and performing with Rangbhoomi for 3 years now. And I've enjoyed all the performances that I've done with them. But enough about introductions. Let's get on into the questions that I'm going to answer. The first one is, what is climate change to me? Climate change basically means change of climate. We all know that change is a constant, right? But do we want the climate changing so drastically that the very existence of mankind is at risk? I mean that older generations gone by, that until recently we didn't pay too much attention to climate change. We didn't realize what each action of ours was doing to our planet and to life as we know it. We walk into a room and we switch on the AC. We leave our home and get right into our car to go to the neighborhood grocer instead of walking. We have been happy about these so-called conveniences, but now we're realizing that all our actions, all our footsteps are leaving footprints, carbon footprints. It's time we stopped and listened. And with that, I come to my next question. So why did I choose to work on this theatre project? Theatre is always about seeing, but this was about listening, because it was radio theatre. And I also got a chance to work on my voice and my voice expressions. Next question. Did I learn anything new during this process? I learned about this very important topic, climate change, because I'd never really learned anything about it other than one chapter in school. It is a serious topic, but we had fun researching and learning. It was a serious topic, but we had fun researching and learning together for the performance. And I realized for us kids, this is the best way to get us involved. Now my last question, or let's rather say message, is a message from India to the world. Well, just 3 words. Keep it simple. Live a simple life. But I want to add 2 more. Slow down. I keep hearing so many adults saying life is going too fast. But then I realized you need to take the car because you don't have time to walk. But when we slow down, we will have time to walk. We will have time to think about our actions, contributing to climate change. We will have time to think about making a difference. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Beautiful, beautiful. Slow down. Thank you, Michelle. You can see the world is clapping and applauding. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Over to Dwan, our next young man.
Hi
everyone. I'm Dwan and I'm from Mumbai, India. And today I'm going to talk about climate change. It's a serious topic currently in the world, and many people have been talking about it. So my first question is, what is climate change for me, and what I wanted to spread awareness of. Climate change is a serious topic currently, and I wanted that I would take serious steps for climate change and save the planet and spread awareness of climate change in the age group where I 10 years old, and give speeches on it so that many children start understanding about climate change and they take steps to save our earth from carbon footprints. The second question is, why a climate project? So I wanted to do certain things for saving my planet. Once I went for a trek to when I went for a trek, while coming back, I saw garbage lying in the forest, and my friends and I had a sudden idea, and we started picking up the garbage in the bags and putting them in the dustbins. So we cleaned a part of the forest, and so my friends and I collaborated with each other, and we think about it when we go down to play about saving our earth from carbon footprints. The third question was, what did I learn from the theater? So the radio theater which I did was a very nice thing. I enjoyed it a lot, and I got the opportunity to speak on radio for the first time, and I learned about many things on radio, that about my voice modulation, and not about expressions, because it was a radio show. My fourth question: message to the world from India. Although India is a country which is leading currently in the world's in the carbon foot in the global warming in the global warming event, and I, being a proud Indian, shares a bit of my all my success, that I saved my earth from such carbon footprints, but I have to keep on saving them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwan. Thanks for this message. We have to keep on doing it. Wonderful. Thank you, Dwan and Michelle. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ingomete. Back to you. Yes, thank you so much.
I leave it to you, Premle, to speak to the world.
Yes.
On creativity and the future.
First of all, I'd like to thank our young inspirational leaders from Mumbai, India, who shared their concerns and also asked a lot of tough questions, especially for adults, decision makers and policy makers, especially those gathered here at the Conference of Parties 26 or the COP. So I wish you guys were here to hold policymakers and politicians accountable, because you are the guys who are going to face the brunt of whatever happens to our planet in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 decades from now. And most of those guys who made promises here will be long gone. So it will be all upon your shoulders to carry the burden created by grandparents or great-grandparents who did not think for generations to come. So I'm very glad that as we speak, there are thousands of young people marching in the streets of Glasgow right now. And at the same time, many other protests have been triggered around the world, thanks to young people like Greta Thunberg and many more like her, just like her, in other developing countries who we may not know of, but they are there and they are fighting the good fight. Now, I would like to share something what we are doing as a cross collaborative project, which we call the C6, which is all about bringing creativity, culture from around the world, collaboration, these three C's to combat climate change. You know, we've been talking about politics, economics, science, but we need to engage the arts, people with music, people with poetry, with theater, the culture of the indigenous people that we don't hear of from the Amazon, from deep in the outback of Australia. They've been around for 40,000 years. The shamans high up in the Himalayas, you know, those medicine men, the Maasai warriors in Kenya and Tanzania, you know, the Bushmen who run all their lives, you know, they've got like, they're like superhumans. Those monks that chant up in the monasteries high up in the Himalayas, and they don't eat anything, but they go into deep thought, and they can last for months just breathing air. Like you said, the young girl from Mumbai, we must slow down, put the brakes on in this rat race, trying to make money and then getting a heart attack by the time you hit 40 or a stroke. What's the use? You're not going to take that money anywhere, wherever you're going, you know? We are made of energy, and energy is pure love, it's pure light. When we leave this planet, we leave our mortal bodies behind, but our souls return to the universe where we come from. So energy can neither be created or destroyed. So we all journey to the stars. That's what I say when I lose friends or families or people. I don't say rest in peace. We don't. I say journey well to the stars. This is what the Mayans also say, you know, as the Mayan way. They say journey well, because you begin your journey in the afterlife. And that's life and death. It's all part of our existing in the cosmos. So our story is that we've created this C6 project to engage young people, and using the arts as a platform, using music, using culture to bring together people from not across just Europe, but to engage people from across the spectrum, Asia, Africa, Latin America, as part of this Erasmus Plus C6 project, which is supported by the European Commission in Brussels, and it will last for 2 years. We will be creating a lot of video footage. We'll be doing a lot of interviews. This actually event today, thanks to the Glasgow University and the union that's hosted us here, we're going to launch, and we would like you to follow us on the website. We will share in the group and cross-pollinate, cross-collaborate, create some beautiful stories and music to create this paradigm shift from Glasgow to the whole world and build a legacy of not saving the world, but saving humanity for generations to come. We all know that the planet has been around for billions of years. We humans just came in a fraction of a second if you look at time, space-time. But we've created so much damage on the planet that even the dinosaurs are worried. If you've seen that little video made by UNDP that a dinosaur came and addressed our leaders in the General Assembly, he said, at least we got struck by an asteroid, an extraterrestrial stone, but we humans are actually destroying ourselves on the planet. So the dinosaur said, wake up, humans. So on that note, I'd like to invite all of you to join us in spirit or physically or culturally, wherever you are, with your arts, your story, your music, your songs, your theater group performances, so we can journey together as part of the C6 community. I know it's a European project, but we want to take it beyond the life of this 5 years and keep building on it with all our strategic partners, including Earth Bank. We'll be hearing from our colleague Bo, who's a forestry expert. He'll be presenting about his work, what he's doing, and how you can also join Earth Bank, which is what we envision to be the green revolute, where young people can, through peer-to-peer lending, all those thousands of young people out there following Greta, imagine if they can loan 10 pounds to another young farmer in Africa or Asia and Latin America, instead of borrowing at 25% interest. They can say, just take my 10 pounds, plant your trees, grow your tomatoes, do organic farming. You can return it back to me in kind. Why not? If those thousands of young people with just 10 pounds or $100 could invest that money to channel that positive energy to the developing world, not waiting for governments and big banks, we can make a hell lot of a difference If 100,000 people are marching in Glasgow right now, we take their collective energy and plant 100,000 trees in the Highlands of Scotland to rewire and also rewire your mindset. We can save people from flash floods downstream, and we can draw down 100,000 tons of carbon. It's nice to protest, it's nice to wake up governments, but we also need to take action individually wherever you are. So this is my call to all of you, and may the forest be with you always. Thank you so much.